What's happening, y'all? Do it right, we can do it, baby. Yeah, man. What? What a weekend of football. The foosball was in effect mode, bro. I mean, you talking about two number one seeds knocked off. You talking about 3 out of 4 road teams won, and all three was by a field goal. Then you have what a lot of people are calling the game of the week, even the game of the year. You had a walk-off touchdown in overtime for Kansas City. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal stuff. And let's face it, I actually thought that the Bucks were gonna lose. I looked at it like this. Number one, Tomlin won last year, so he's not really as hungry for another chip as he was last year. That's just reality. Number two, the Bucks team did not look unstoppable this year. There were plenty of times where Brady looked mortal, and the team as a whole looked like they could get got. And this time they did. And Matt Stafford stepped up and won the game. And at the end of the day, he beat Tom Brady. That's what happened. Respect to Tom, and I don't know if Tom is going to stick around for another season. I mean, honestly, in my humble opinion, you've gotten every accolade you could ever get, so it's all good to retire. Ain't nothing really wrong with that. Great career, awesome. Greatest of all time. Period. He is in a rare company. Him, Joe Montana. You know what I mean? That's the company. Aaron Rodgers is an outstanding regular season quarterback. Outstanding. Peyton Manning type outstanding. Dan Marino type outstanding. But that's it. How do you only score 10 points? How do you only score 10 points against a 49er team that was good enough to beat Dallas, should not even have been in the same room with y'all? Just keeping it above. Everything is to your benefit. The bye week, home field, even the weather. And y'all let that team come in and beat y'all. That's what happened. You let them win that game when y'all could have easily won that game. Why ignore Lazard and Cobb all game and pretty much just focus on your two bell cows, running back and wide receiver? Why do that? Makes life easy on defenses when you do that. And everybody forgets that Aaron said that this was his last year as a Packer before the season started. Remember during the holdout when he finally agreed to play, they agreed that this would be his last year. So I don't really understand a lot of the debates that are going on today of what Aaron's going to do. We know what he's going to do. He's going to leave. We know this. Let's not act like we don't know, or suddenly this season, the way it played out, will change his mind. He has consistently failed in the playoffs. I mean, and I really don't think that that's talked about enough. He has consistently failed in the playoffs. And I am going to talk about this even more on Thursday on my show. So if y'all mad at what I'm saying now, just wait till Thursday. But, for a dude that gets so many passes, so many accolades, if it were any other team that lost that game last night, was it last night? Or this weekend, pardon me. If you lose that game this weekend, 9 out of 10 quarterbacks are being eviscerated today for that loss. Except Aaron Rodgers. He gets a pass because It was the special teams' fault. It was the special teams' fault that you guys scored on your opening drive and never again. Yeah, that's special teams' fault. It's special teams' fault that the San Francisco 49ers literally only put up 6 points of offense. And y'all could not capitalize on 6 points of offense. But that's special teams' fault. You threw to the wrong guy and you had a guy open and you could have got the first down, which kind of possibly could have put the game away for you. Maybe you guys kicked the game-winning field goal, but that didn't happen. Nobody's talking about how Allen Lazard was open and the greatest of all time, quote unquote, just plain missed him. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about how he lied to his team and did not show leadership through the season when you got immunized and not actually vaccinated, which could have put your team in jeopardy, and your team was hit with COVID. It's not necessarily a football field issue, but it's a locker room leadership issue for me. So I know Green Bay is loyal and they think he's going to stay and there was nothing wrong and you got to fire coaches. Interesting again that he's only made it to one Super Bowl his entire career. Won that one, cool, but only made it to one time. But somehow, because of his regular season accolades, he's the greatest of all time. They used to do that with Peyton until Tom started winning more Super Bowls. Then they don't do that with Peyton anymore. Maybe they need to stop doing that with Aaron. My wife pointed out something today that was very interesting. Patrick Mahomes has been in the playoffs 4 years consecutively in a row. This big rematch that's supposed to have happened between Aaron Rodgers and Brady, which I feel like Aaron should have won last year when he had the opportunity, but nobody's talking about that either. You know, again, I just never really saw him to be all that. And everyone used to always tell me how crazy I am because I must not know football because Aaron Rodgers doesn't win in the playoffs. So, okay, Hail Marys and stuff, and that's great, yeah. W's, titles, rings. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to get on that a bit more on Thursday, so I'm not going to use all my bullets today. But I will say Josh Allen will definitely be there. And those Bills are going to be there going forward. The Tannehill situation with the Titans is very interesting because I do feel like they've got a team that can go, but they're just not sure if Ryan is the one that can take them over the hump, and that's fair. You know, you got to do it to think you can do it. And same thing with the Colts. The Colts are going to be dangerous again next year, man. But, hey, and I got to say this. Will y'all stop trying to put Tom and Belichick and cut that out? End of the day, Belichick took a rookie quarterback and took him to the playoffs. You don't think they're coming back? You're not paying attention. You don't think they're going to be a tough-ass team in the next couple of seasons? You're not paying attention. Stop worrying about who made who, Tom or Belichick, because at the end of the day, they made each other, and 6 Super Bowls is probably not going to be surpassed by anybody anytime soon. So they gave each other success. Great. He got Bruce Arians a Super Bowl, not mostly, a. And I don't think he'll be able to get him much more than that because even if he doesn't retire next year, I'm sorry, I don't see that team going this far. Again, I don't see him keeping the pieces together because there's a lot of payrolls you got to pay. I see this going a different way for the Bucs next year. You know, and maybe they might want to be smart and grab Aaron Rodgers in the offseason to replace Tom so that, you know, they can keep going. And maybe that's exactly what Aaron was thinking about. Who knows at this point? But that's what I am seeing, you know, and I really, really enjoyed this football season. I enjoyed these playoffs. And one last thing that just popped into my head, Baltimore, man, y'all have to get Lamar Jackson some daggone wide receivers. Hollywood Brown cannot be the number one, and y'all keep thinking y'all gonna go far. I mean, and y'all have to get back to Baltimore defense, which you guys have left off for some time now. Y'all got to get that back. The identity of the Baltimore Ravens has always been defense, and it needs to be, or it's not going to work. You know, Lamar is a wonderful offensive threat, but without weapons and without a defense to keep the other team from scoring, you're going to see more of the same. You know, but I'm very excited. I do think it'll be Rams and Chiefs. You know, the more I look at that Bengals game, the more I realize the Titans lost that game more so than the Bengals won it. And if Kansas City comes the way they came this weekend, I really don't. I think Joe Burrow and them will try their best to shoot them out. But at the end of the day, I think what happened to the Bills happens to them. And that's my take on that. So I do think it'll be a Rams Chiefs Super Bowl, but I will say I think the Rams will win. So if you're asking me today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going Rams, but we're gonna also go over this on the show on Thursday with my partners, Mr. Lewis and Mike, MG the Great. So tune into the Candid Corner on Thursday, and we're gonna have a Matrix Resurrections conversation. Personally, I really dug that movie. I thought it was hot. So if you don't tune in, and we'll discuss it. Thank you all for tuning in, paying attention. Yeah, the flubs, man, it's crazy. Lips is dry and everything. It's terrible. But it's always a pleasure, and I always appreciate you guys supporting and watching the videos and my takes. So have a great day. If you're a Knicks fan, we had a great win yesterday, and we got another game tonight. So let's go Knicks. And if you're a fan of football, man, we got 2 great championship games coming up this weekend. So, dive in. I'll talk to y'all later.